Tonight on the show, we have one of my friends who is a creative mind in the world of immersive theming and special effects. I would love to welcome onto the show my good buddy, Damien Montanil.
Hey, bud.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm very good.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, happy to have you here. Happy to talk about theming, well, general theming, but specifically theming within tiki bars.
Sure.
Your specialty seems to be in like the effects, like the special effects.
Right, yeah. I mean, as far as theming goes, I mean, there's plenty of people that have been doing this far longer than I have, but my world and something I've studied since I was a little kid and then a dream to kind of come to fruition was designing a more immersive special effect theme park element to something that is already known for immersion and escapism.
One of the things that I find interesting is I think that people think the immersive special effects started and stopped, or at least began with Trader Sam's.
Sure, and that has kind of been a lot of people's foray in the last 12 years since Trader Sam's has been around, well, now 12 years and change.
Right.
It was a lot of people's first experience in modern day with tiki. It's kind of trickled down into the domain of layman, where casual goers, theme park goers, what have you, were able to experience what tiki is, or a Disneyfication of that.
Sure.
And it was embraced and accepted. Disney has rendered a deeper immersion in the tiki aesthetic than people previously had ever known. And people have run with that. They've embraced it.
But the theming in tiki bars actually goes back to Hollywood, California with Don the Beachcomber.
Sure.
As far as the special effects thing, can you explain that thing?
And I mean, and Don had some very simplistic things. I mean, he had it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing where he would have a rain effect that would splash on the window, much like the Molokai bar has it at the Maikai. But it was kind of like, oh, it's raining, we're going to stay around for one more drink. And in the grand scheme of things, no one really believed that, but it was a fun little gag.
From what I understand, he would because especially back then, he'd have to play a sound effect record that had like a storm sound thing, and then there was like a hose on the roof.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was very low key.
Yeah. My first true tiki bar experience when I really understood that I was in a tiki bar was at the Tonga Room in San Francisco.
Right. The rain effect that they had there, I think, goes back to about 52. So I mean, it predates theme parks. I mean,
And it's kind of a weird curtain of rain.
Right.
it's like if you were to jab a bunch of holes in a PVC pipe and
It's probably about the technology involved in it. So,
yeah.
I mean, within some degree or another.
Right. I think every 15 minutes or every 20, 30 minutes, there's this rainstorm that happens.
Right.
And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And then years later, of course, Trader Sam's.
Sure. They took it. They have the immersive, the Krakatoa windows, Oa cocktail, which is actually born out of the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management, which is one of the most jeered attractions in Disney history because it was a layover to the beloved Enchanted Tiki Room in Florida only, and they had Zazu, and it was the age of edginess in Disney attractions, so they had Zazu and Iago from Aladdin and Lion King come in. They took over. They started singing in the still of the night. They had the Tiki Gods doing a rap rendition of that. It was bizarre.
In the still of the night.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the special effects that you've imparted on modern tiki bars?
I mean, I've been in technology for 24 years now. So, I mean, in some way or another, I've always been in technology, focusing on show control and technology to bring immersive environments to life, but not for the sake of all of this technology.
Now, explain show control to the folks there.
Any show that you see, whether it be Trader Sam's or your favorite Disney attraction or Universal or Knott's Berry Farm or whatever, there's basically a strict timing mechanism that goes on behind the scenes that times lighting or dialogue or animatronics or whatever the effect might be. So it's in a very strict timing sequence for whatever the show is supposed to be.
Right.
Pyro, you name it.
Pyro. So what are some of those gags, I guess you would call them?
I've done a lot for Strongwater Anaheim that I'm still working on with Robert and Yang. I wrote the original story for The Zombie King of Balakonbe, which was turned into an independent film, which was fantastic. It was a huge honor to be part of that.
Really?
So I wrote the story to go along with the first release of the Zombie King mug. A lot of what I've done is kind of very diverse, while my specialty is in the technological side, but I've done everything from story writing, script writing, show writing, to doing the prop builds and technology and effects, as well as finding creative ways to hide the technology within those props in that environment.
You did work on some stuff at Undertow too in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I worked on Gilbert.
Who's Gilbert?
Undertow Gilbert.
Who's that?
It's the Gilbert, Arizona
Oh,
So
it's a place.
yeah,
it's not a dude.
So it's called Undertow at Epicenter is the location, because there's 2 Undertows. There's one in Arcadia, Phoenix, and then there's one in Gilbert, Arizona. So I did the entryway build out. So there's a 32-minute pre-show. No, you don't have to sit there and watch it. It's ambient, but it loops and it kind of teases to a few things that are going on. But there's 2 animatronics. There's custom sound. My buddy Andy Garfield, who's a theme park composer for Universal and ex Walt Disney Imagineering, he did some custom score pieces for me to bring the instrument portrait to life. Mermaids, sirens, and things like that. So,
you're not supposed to say mermaids anymore?
No. That's just the sirens are the
evil mermaids?
Yeah, they're the more enchanted version, the enchanted counterpart.
Oh, I see. Okay. So let me ask you, if there are people at home who have their own home tiki bars and they want like a special effect done in their house, can they hire you to do that kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, time is the thing, but I'm willing to talk to anyone, even helping people out just a little bit here and there. I mean, I'm not going to able to do a paint by number to like, here's a tutorial.
Yeah.
I don't have the time
or
the energy. I don't know how you do it, but
they can hire you and you can come in and
I'm happy to be a resource and do some creative design for hire.
And you're currently at Knott's Berry Farm, right? Working on some
seasonal
stuff?
I'm on seasonal right now at Knott's Berry Farm, working on seasonal special effects. So that's anything that is for seasonal things like Knott's Merry Farm for Christmas or Knott's Scary Farm, which is kind of where I am right now.
Right.
Just kind of immersed in that, no pun intended.
But your theme park experience goes back further than that. Like you were a bartender at Club 33.
I was short-lived. It was just a kind of a fun gig. Well, I worked it in conjunction with my day job. It was a good time.
Just a fun side gig at like one of the most exclusive clubs in Southern California. Probably the world, to be honest.
It was great. Matt Ellingson was a tremendous resource for club and for hospitality overall.
You see any famous people there? Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess. I don't work there anymore. Troy Polamalu, I don't know that he plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Andy Garcia, I made Andy Garcia a couple cocktails.
Tom Hanks?
No, it was not Tom. I did not see Tom Hanks.
Mel Gibson?
No, did not see Mel Gibson. No Johnny Depp, no Elton John or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I heard that Elton John was there playing the harpsichord.
He's got a piano that's there, which is the same model that he tours with. So, in theory, the whole design was, little side anecdote, they were able to theoretically network the piano that he played in concert with the piano in Club 33. So he could actually, as he's playing in the show, it would play at Club 33.
Really?
Yeah.
Remember when the Hula Girls played Club 33?
Oh, yeah, it was great.
It's pretty weird.
Yep. Glad I got some photos. We did that.
Yes, thank you very much. We were too loud, I think, for a small little intimate
people
club.
Really dug it, though. It was good. Because it was
fun.
but it's very different than the normal musical offerings. I mean, it was you, Tiki Orchestra played.
Martini Kings.
Martini Kings as well, right?
So speaking of Disney, we're going to make what cocktail?
So we're doing the Leilani Volcano today.
What's the Leilani Volcano?
It is one of the few pre-Trader Sam's drinks and pre-Adventurers Club drinks that has kind of been accepted into the modern lexicon of the tiki cocktail library. At the Tambu Lounge in the 1970s, at the Polynesian Village Resort in Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And it does have a couple of ingredients that by today's standards, people would be kind of WTF. We are doing this with historic accuracy in mind. It is not something, I do not even have a bottle of Malibu in my bar at home.
You just bought this and brought it to my house.
Because you know what? Steer into the skid.
Yeah.
Steer into the skid.
Yeah, totally.
So
this is going to be a historically accurate cocktail, but we're also going to make an updated version of this cocktail, right?
Right, yeah. So we had, Martin Kate came up with the Leilani Volcano 2.0, which requires a guava soda, and we couldn't get that. So we're kind of splitting the base of the 2.0 and the 1.0 and just kind of coming up with a 1.5,
Interesting. And then we're going to taste both of them, see which one we like better.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then the winner drinks the rest of that bottle. Wait, the winner? No, not the winner.
On camera?
Yes. And for this cocktail, we will be using lime juice, guava nectar, coconut goo,
Cream of coconut or creme de coconut.
simple syrup, pineapple juice, Malibu coconut rum, and Hamilton White Stash. You don't need all these ingredients to make one of the drinks. We're kind of mixing and matching here, but you'll see. If you want to make all the drinks, then get all this stuff. Start by cutting a lime in half. You want to cut
I'm mesmerized by your cutting board, by the way. I love this thing.
Thank you very much.
Whoever got it for you, awesome.
Winston Woodworking.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Your fancy knife.
It's a shoon.
Yes, I see.
Have you heard of that?
I have. They make sushi knives and things like that. So.
Yeah, it's when I'm not making sushi, I use that.
Nice.
Why don't you go ahead and squeeze some lime juice here. So 3/4 of an ounce for one drink. 3 ounces of guava juice.
Okay.
Cool, what's next?
It's 1.5 of pineapple. That I actually remembered. There you go.
All right, 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. 1/4 ounce of simple syrup.
Cool.
2.5 ounces of Malibu coconut rum.
I'm gonna do 1 ounce.
Oh, okay.
1.5.
That's 2.5 ounces of coconut juice. Coconut rum.
Coconut rum.
Well, yeah. Cool, so that's the drink?
That is.
Okay. Couple scoops, you think?
Yeah, enough to roll it into the pilsner glasses. I get the honors.
Let you do the honors.
Cool.
My word, some fancy shaking. You've done this before.
You get all the ice though.
I guess it's a big drink, huh? Can we pour some of that into this?
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be a mess, isn't it? Oh. Maybe what we should do is we should taste this one
Yeah.
and then make the next one.
Sure. Well, we're gonna garnish it.
Is there any trick to cutting orange slices?
I can't remember the last time I cut an orange slice.
Oh.
We're going 1970s style here, so
Yeah, totally.
we're gonna just clamp that to the side of the glass.
A big
so.
chunky orange slice. So what do? We just put one of these things on the side?
Yep. We're going some simple garnishing from a 1970s standpoint.
Okay, so here's this.
Spear fishing, I'm not. There we go.
Oh, you just do it like that?
Yeah.
You don't go into the thing?
No, for color, kind of balance it on top. That's what I would do anyway.
Huh.
Like I said, there's no right way to do everything. It's just certain aesthetics, certain,
Okay. I'll do it that
especially
way.
if you're making this at home, do whatever you want.
And so, from the Polynesian Village Resort at Walt Disney World, one of the three original,
One of the 3 original hotels for the resort.
pretty rad.
So.
This is the Leilani Volcano. Let's taste this one,
All right.
and then we're gonna make the Leilani Volcano
1.5.
1.5, and see how that compares. All right, cheers, Damien.
Cheers, brother.
Oh, all right. It's good.
Tastes like the 1970s. It's good though. I mean,
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's like if we were on a cruise ship, if we were by a pool,
it's refreshing. It
if we were
absolutely is.
watching Chips.
To be honest, as much as people want to jeer Malibu and whatnot, and like I said, I don't necessarily have a bottle myself, it does lend to certain flavor profiles where a more stereotypical flavor can be embraced a little bit in a cocktail.
It's pretty good. I think all y'all would love this. It's not a very like nuanced, complex cocktail. It's just a light, refreshing, tropical treat.
Agreed?
It's good. Oh, so what do you think the next one's gonna be like?
That's a really good question. We're going to sub out the coconut rum for coconut cream and using the at Hamilton White Stash, which is an amazing rum for an amazing stash.
So this will be a little more elevated version of this, right? Like a
Right, yeah,
little fancier.
it's a little bit more for the modern discerning tiki palate, so to speak.
Just like yours. Dude, this thing's super good.
Yeah.
This is a tasty cocktail, but like what you would kind of expect.
It lends to the whole, the idea of tourism. Walt Disney World was born, out of 71, and they did everything in their power to make people have that escapism feel. I think it does lend pretty well to that, to the era and to what it all is.
I think so too.
So
I'm very pleased with this drink. And it's like, as simple and basic or whatever as it is, it's great.
Yeah.
Good cocktail. You don't like it, huh?
I actually do. I'm kind of downplaying it a little bit.
You just don't
but-
want to admit it, huh?
No, I say drink whatever pleases you. Everyone has a different palate. I try to steer clear of you're doing this wrong or you're doing that wrong or whatnot. My tastes are different from your tastes or different from There is a history, and I think despite what the 1970s might have brought with the dark ages of cocktails, this does lend to a decent cocktail that came out of that era.
I'm excited to see what the like turned up version is all about.
Well, we'll see what we can do with it.
Okay, so we're back. We've got some new glassware. We're gonna try Leilani
Volcano 1.5, 1.75, somewhere around there.
Right, so Martin Cate in the book Smuggler's Cove has his version 2.0.
Right.
We are doing kind of a middle step between his version and the original version.
Correct.
So we're gonna be using the Hamilton White Stash to intentionally keep this light.
Light and airy, much like the original was.
The original was great. Not a cocktail that I would like come home after a hard day's work and
No, that's just 151. I mean,
That's right. It's just a glass of Dr. Bird or
There you
something. That drink very well could have had a little paper umbrella.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it probably did. I mean, knowing how Disney was.
Probably did.
So,
Okay, so what do we start off with for this drink? Lime juice again?
crap. Yeah, we'll start with lime juice.
Okay, let's do that real quick. So we're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce, just like we did before. I will go ahead and squeeze these. We're just gonna make one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's like the last one, maybe 2.
Yeah. Okay, so 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Okay, what's the next ingredient?
I think we had 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice.
Okay. 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice.
Do we need continuity?
Yeah, probably.
Just poof, magic.
Well, kind of the way that. Oh yeah, Magic Castle.
So Magic Castle. I've been a member for 19 years.
You've been a
So,
member of the
yeah.
Magic Castle for 19 years.
Yeah, so-
Why? How?
Magician member.
You're a magician?
I auditioned.
Do some shit.
Yeah, right away. I make a cocktail this year. I work in magic of metabolism.
What?
Your liver,
Uh,
as it takes care of the alcohol in your body.
Want to see you pull a bunny out of that hat or
Oh
something?
yeah, right.
You can't do that?
Not right the second.
What kind of magician are you?
Maybe a Jack Russell.
I think I'll see him squirming around in your hat. Okay, so instead of simple syrup, we're going to use coconut goo.
Coconut goo. There you go.
What do you call this?
Come to coconut or coconut cream.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is a shocking turn of events.
Okay.
Has that ever happened to you before?
No, it is not. That is new.
And it's like pretty common that you smack it head down so that everything gets to the bottom. How do you even clean this up?
Should we put this back on?
I don't know. I'm like nervous about pouring anything out of that thing.
No, that's on there too. I
Yeah?
mean, the cap just popped open, but that's on there.
Weird. So we're gonna do 1 ounce of coconut cream, creme de coconut.
Coconut cream. That's
Coconut
fine.
cream. All right.
Coco Rio.
Careful with that. Ew. It's an odd consistency.
It is.
What's the next thing?
2 ounces guava nectar.
Oh, okay. Just give it a quick little shake there. 2 ounces of guava nectar. All right. Oh my God.
Now it's a party.
You can't really pour that down. Oh my God. What has happened? The pool drink got me all wasted or something. Okay. Now the rum.
Now rum. Yes, because we're going to top off later.
Okay.
So,
How
I
much?
think we're going to do 1.5 ounces.
Okay. An ounce and a half. That's it.
Yeah. We can do 2. It's our drink. Kind of.
Kinda.
So
You want to do 2?
Let's do 2. Why not?
Yeah. All right. As far as closing things like bottles, what's your opinion on something like a cork?
I won't leave a cork in a bottle if it breaks down. I'll decant it into a cheater bottle or another bottle that I have on hand.
That's fair.
But especially a lot of the composites that are available now, they're pretty solid. Yeah.
All right.
If you're gonna do a pour spout, leave it behind the bar. Just make sure that no fruit flies could get into it. There's a flashlight test. So if you shine a flashlight at the bottom of the bottle and there's one fruit fly, you have to burn the bottle.
One fruit fly.
Yeah. In a professional atmosphere.
Can you store bottles with this pour spout in it? Mm-hmm. For how long? Doesn't the rum go bad?
Well, that's exactly it. Sometimes there's a mechanism that you cap on top. You don't just leave it out.
Right,
like
right.
that. People do. Depends
Yeah.
if it's your home bar or if it's a commercial bar.
I would imagine a commercial bar you could do that because I would imagine Hey! I would imagine a commercial bar you could do that because you're going to go through the bottles much quicker.
Right.
I'm not going to drink a bottle
yeah.
of White Stash in like 3 days.
You're not trying hard enough.
Okay.
No, but yeah, you're exactly right.
2 ounces of White Stash.
But there are like jackets or condoms or whatever the hell you want to call them that you could put on top of the pour spout that kind of locks it in there. So
Gotcha. So if somebody wanted to make this at home and they didn't have White Stash, what rum would you recommend?
Don Q would work well for this particular rum. Any really high-end silver rum would be good.
Cool. So that's the drink.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. We're going to put some ice in the tin, shake it, pour it in the drinks, and then add soda water.
Yeah, we're gonna add a little soda water.
Okay.
So,
A couple of scoops of that. Then I want to see your fancy shaking again. See? It's pretty good. Oh, and then you do the thing on the bottom? Mm-hmm. Very nice. Okay, so here's a question that I always have for professional bartenders and or part-time professional bartenders.
Fair.
Yeah. My theory is you pour the soda water in first. That way when you pour the drink in on top, it mixes the soda water in.
Well, it depends also because there's a very famous drink from New Orleans called the Ramos Gin Fizz, which that's also the big debate is do you pour that in first and have it mix? Because the carbonation actually helps solidify the drink if you know anything about the drink. It has to develop a very frothy head.
Yeah, because it like
very
rises
stiff.
up, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. If it's something that you're trying to mix in, sure. You just have to be careful of letting out the carbonation prematurely with that. But it
What,
should-
by pouring stuff on top?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's almost like shaking it, kinda, or?
I wouldn't say it's quite like shaking it,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's just something to be aware of when you're doing it. I mean, for something like this, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So yeah, I'm sure you could pour it in first and to help aerate it, mix it.
Okay. You want me to just eyeball it?
Yeah, eyeball it. Why not?
Okay, tell me
We're
when.
having fun.
Tell me when.
I have no idea.
Like that much?
No.
More?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There you go.
Really?
Sure.
Okay. How much is that? You think 2 ounces?
No, we could find out.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually not bad.
That's actually
That's
like,
pretty good.
Oh, that worked. 2 ounces? I bet you that's 2 ounces.
Yeah. I'm curious now.
I know. Oh, 1 ounce.
1 ounce. I was gonna say that's not nearly as much as you think it is.
Wow.
So.
No, there's coconut goo in the. Well, that's your. That's yours.
I'll take this one. It's fine. I forgot about that.
Extra coconut goo. Okay, so it looks similar to the last
Yeah.
ones, right?
Yeah. And knowing full well that Martin Cates called for an age blended rum
So that's the big differentiation. That
for,
and,
the
and
flavor profile, but we wanted to keep it light in the spirit of the original.
but also like guava soda was in his drink.
Right. He had a full on, I think it was Bundaberg,
Yeah.
guava soda. So it adds a little bit more punch because guava is an ingredient that is generally easily lost unless you use copious amounts of it, which is why the original called for 3 ounces and 4 ounces, depending on the recipe that you look at.
Okay. Now, folks, before we taste this cocktail, if you aren't already subscribed to our Patreon, and if you subscribe to the Patreon, we'll give you opportunities to buy merch before it goes on sale to anybody else, because that stuff always sells out. Also, after the premiere of every video on Friday nights, we have a Breezeway After Dark kind of cocktail party on Zoom. So if you want to hang out with me, have a cocktail after the episode premieres, join the Patreon. It's a good time. If you want to follow Damien on social media, where can you find you?
Mainly, I hang out on Instagram. It's Krakatoa Creative.
Ooh.
So Krakatoa Creative, one word.
You know, we didn't even talk about your volcano. Speaking of Krakatoa.
And speaking of volcanoes, it was something that was kind of born out of a conversation between me and Bamboo Ben, I think back in 2018.
Okay.
And I live in a historic home. The yard had the original, well, from the 50s. It was a combination barbecue, fireplace, incinerator.
Okay.
And I wanted to do something with it, but I didn't want to destroy an original part of the house because I know the family still. I'm still in touch with them. So I was like,
So you built it over it?
Yeah. So the volcano was
Oh.
built. It's 10.5 feet tall, and it's built on top of this combo fireplace unit. It was all brick and mortar and whatnot, typical of the 1950s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we built it on top, and then started making a fully functioning volcano little by little.
My volcano has like an adorable fountain spray that comes out of it. His belches fire.
Yeah.
How
And
high?
Flames probably reach another 10 feet if I fully let it off.
What do your neighbors think
10,000.
about that?
Neighbors on one side, well, they're moving soon. Neighbors on the other side, they'll sit on the fence and watch it.
Oh,
It's
really?
great. Yeah, it's
Okay,
great.
well, that's
Yeah,
good.
And they know I have fire extinguishers around. I did a whole show control setup with it and kind of now elaborating on it. So putting in a lagoon out front with like a 25 pump fountain show, more pyro, lighting, projection, custom music for like what will hopefully be a 13-minute long show.
Oh my God.
So-
Cool. You know, one of the reasons why Damien and I got talking is because I want to do some kind of like fountain show in my volcano
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
We're volcano buddies.
Yep, we're gonna definitely work on something with that.
Yeah.
Get you a show here.
No fire or anything, but some bubbling and some lights and smoke and stuff.
I'll see what I can talk them into. So
I don't need a 20-foot flame out of my backyard.
it's worth doing. It's worth overdoing. Come on.
True. Okay, so this is basically our creation by way of Martin Kate,
Yep.
by way of Disney's Walt. What was it?
The Polynesian Village Resort at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, that thing. Okay, so like any good volcano show,
Absolutely.
we probably
Or a drink that has volcano in the name.
right. This is the Leilani volcano.
Leilani volcano, all 1.575. Who the hell knows anymore?
Okay, so we need to find some lemon extract.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pour. I gotta. Get
Oh, okay. That was a bottle. I didn't realize. that
Yeah,
was-
I gotta get a better bottle. It's a very unattractive bottle. Sorry, Watkins. Oh. And you don't want to get this in your drink, right?
It's a little citrus bite to it. I mean, it's more alcohol. So
yeah, but it's kind of a bummer. We're gonna light it with a torch here. Okay. Oh, you can't really see it. We didn't really. Okay, so normally you'd put like a crouton in there or like a sugar cube.
Right.
But with a little bit of a spray, you don't want to do it?
You do it, man.
Okay. And I think some cinnamon on top of this will be nice.
Yeah, we could.
There we go.
Yep.
And mine has
A lot more.
That was a mess.
Respect.
Yeah. Oh,
There you go.
very nice. Oh, wow. What's that technique?
It's just like a sprinkle, so it's not clumped together. You just kind of sprinkle it.
Delightful.
It's been a long time since I've done that. So.
And so, from the Breezeway and Krakatoa
Creative.
by way of Martin Kate at Smuggler's Cove.
And the Walt Disney World Resort.
Yes, this is the Krakatoa Leilani.
No, the Leilani Volcano 1.75. I'm not taking credit for this. Much better people were at hand at creating this drink, and we've kind of just borrowed from a little bit of both.
All right. Let's go.
Probably put it out first. Or you could do it that way.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
They look like a mess now. Creamy?
Yep.
Light?
Very light.
That's
the cream is much more fatty in its consistency than like the coconut rum or the Malibu
Yeah.
coconut rum.
Do you prefer this more?
A modern palate, I think, would be a little bit more discerning with this.
Yeah.
Both are good in their own ways, but this has a little bit more of that bite and that fattiness that blends to the coconut rum. I'm sorry, the Coco Real than just using the Malibu for it.
Sure. There's like a bit of sparkle from the soda water. You get a little bit of the guava. Yeah, it's a light, delicious cocktail. I would recommend this, I don't know, to anybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Folks, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and if you don't hit that subscribe button,
We're gonna sacrifice you to the volcanoes.
well, I'm excited to get started on the Volcano Pond project.
Absolutely, you have definitely a great space to do that in.
There's a dude who's gonna come and haul away the old volcano.
Right.
So then I have to build a new one. So maybe we can start.
So you mean like bigger? Bigger's better.
No, there's no room. It's got to be sized.
10.5 feet tall.
It's got to be sized correctly. The the jungle.
I thought I saw like a bee or something.
Get off me, you f***er.
What the hell is it?
It's a June bug, probably.
Oh God. No.
Jesus. What the hell?
But, yeah,
All right.
Put that in the episode.